Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our Saturday morning edition of the Walking This Ways Impact What's podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. We're broadcast once again out of the Dallas Fort Worth, Texas metropolitan area. Well, we know we have extraordinary people who are doing extraordinary things on a regular, consistent basis. You know, we love having extraordinary individuals on here sharing their story, their testimony to empower you, to equip you, to drop gems, to drop nuggets, to change your life. That was all about we're in the business for what changing lives. If y'all ever studied the gospel of Christ, he was about changing lives and changing lives for the better. So we know that he said the same works we'll do, but we should also do greater works. And that's what it's all about today, doing great works. And I'm very excited, very honored, and very privileged to have a very special guest, just for philanthropist, a motivational speaker who specializes in spiritual growth and financial literacy. Through her pit to the palace experience, she aims to inspire and empower. I'm saying that again, aims to inspire and empower individuals by cultivating the message that one's present circumstances do not determine their ultimate destination. So I want to welcome Miss Young here with me this morning. How are you doing this morning? Great morning to you. Looking great, by the way.
Thank
And all that great
you.
stuff. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning to all the kingdom builders out there. Yes, I am so excited and thank you so much, Freeman, for inviting me on to share my life term testimony, as I call it. Yes, thank you.
Man, and that's always a great thing. What you're doing, I know you obviously doing a lot of great content. You're doing very inspiring, very content. Not only that, you've been on this amazing health journey that you allowed the audience, your listeners, your followers to join in as you make this awesome transformation. And we talked about that earlier. How has that been going for you? I know you're in the progress of moving forward, but it's an inspiring thing that you let you know that hey, there's no excuses when it comes to our health. Even the Bible tells us, beloved, which above all things you may prosper in our health, as well our soul prosper. And that's a lot of time we forget a lot that he wants us to prosper in our health.
Yes. Well, I am in progress, so that's a start. You know what I'm saying? I am in progress. It took a while to get my mind right. Sometimes it takes oh hard things like doctors telling you things, that now you don't have a choice. You have to make a change. You have to make your health your priority. And you're right. We in order to do kingdom business, to be strong and healthy and vibrant and have the tenacity and the energy to do the things that God has called us to do, we got to take care of our health. So that's where I'm at, and I'm intentional now.
Man, that's a blessing because we know, like I said, he wants us to prosper in our health as well as our soul prosper. And we know that this is the 8th month. We know everybody know number 8 represents new beginnings, of course.
Yeah.
So we're in a month of new beginnings towards the
Yeah.
end of this year. So it's all about playing at a high level. I thought about that the other day. Playing at a high level. Think about it, this year halfway over with. We already in the 8th month. And we
Right.
got to ask ourselves, what have we been doing with our time? So do you want to
Mhm.
come in on that?
What have we been doing with our time? Some of it we wasted, and I just did something the other day on a line about how God gave me how valuable time is. You know what I'm saying? And once time is gone, it's gone. That minute ago is gone. Can't do nothing about what we should have did a minute ago. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to really learn to respect, calculate, make real good use of it, and really count the cost. God gave me the revelation. We talk about counting the cost in our finances. We really got to learn to count the cost with our time because our time is valuable.
I agree 1000%. And I mean, think about the scripture. I know in Proverbs, it talks about number our days with wisdom. Paraphrase, I don't have my Bible in front of me, but it talks about numbering our days with wisdom. So that
Yes,
means there's action involved when it comes to numbering our days. If we
yes,
have to get past the I'm just getting by, it is what it is. We hear people use those cliche, it is what it is. I'm
yeah.
just getting by.
And it's
But we
gonna
gotta
stay
ask,
what it is.
right, and it's gonna sound like that because death and life is in the power of the tongue. Eat the fruit thereof. But change
Yeah,
our circumstances.
yeah.
We walk in a time where we're living in our past.
Right,
We have not escaped our past.
right,
We're a prisoner in our past.
right.
And we walk around, we blame everybody for our past. Not saying things happen, but we still becoming a prisoner in our past. We keep
That's so true. That's so true.
not seeing our future. What is up with that?
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. And that's basically a lot with my pit to the palace life term testimony, I say, is, you know what I'm saying? Because your past and your past experiences and whatever you went through don't have to hold you, like you say, bondage to your future. You know, you can use that to catapult you, to elevate you, and not let it captivate you.
Right, most definitely. And I know that forgiveness, we was always taught, forgive, of course the Bible tells us biblical rules, kingdom rules is to forgive, but we get the point a lot of times to forgiving ourselves. And that's what we wrestle with. Not forgiving ourselves, we feel ashamed,
Yeah,
condemned,
yeah,
walk with our head down,
yeah,
and still being that prisoner when Christ said, whom the Son set free is free indeed. But at the end of the day, we have to believe that what he already bestowed upon us
yeah,
2,000 years ago. He already
yeah.
spoke these things. What he said, the scriptures tell us, speak those things that be those they were.
That's right.
So he's speaking on things that already were. But
That's
now we
right.
have to catch up to it. That's good. I never looked at it that way.
That's
But
right.
now we have to catch up to
Yeah,
what
we're
he
already
already
there.
said.
He predestined us. He knew the journey that we were going to go through. And once we realized, and that's what when I talk about my palace, I'll talk about that later when we get to the testimony. When we realized that God took all of that tragedy and trials and mess ups and stuff that we did, and he actually had formulated to use it for his glory, you know?
That's
And so
true.
we're supposed to tell our story because it's for his glory. Everything
Right.
that we've been through, regardless, it ain't no shame. What the young folks used to say, ain't no shame in our game. You know what I'm
That's it. Right. And that's what it is. Made me think about that too as she was talking, and made me thinking about when Joseph from
Come
the
on
Old
now, don't tell
Testament.
the story now, Freeman. Don't
But
tell.
but I would say, but when he went through, but then you gotta think about it.
Uh-huh.
We told his brothers,
Yeah, come on.
which I thought evil against me,
Uh-huh.
God meant it for my good. That took a very mature individual to say that to his brothers. Think about what his brothers put him through.
Yeah,
And just for him to say that
yeah,
with love, with
yeah,
grace,
yeah,
mercy,
yeah.
the average person, they can't do that. They want to go get a gun, want to fight, want to do this, want
Okay.
to kick and scratch and claw at them. But
Yeah,
it takes a very mature individual, man or woman, to say, you know what? When you thought evil against me,
yeah.
God just meant for my good. What you want to say about that before we go further into your
Yeah,
testimony?
yeah. Well, you getting into my pit to the palace testimony, and I'm glad you brought it up actually, because I discovered just recently when I was sharing with others that I was going to do this broadcast with you, they didn't understand the biblical reference to the pit to the palace. So you say
Mhm.
that to people, and they got all kinds of things going in their head. What's the pit? What's the palace? What's all that? Some people think the palace is, you know. Success and all that ain't it when you hear my story, and they don't understand the story about Joseph, you know. And so that kind of brings me to it, is that the pit part of it is uh, everything Joseph went through, and he was highly favored. He was highly favored by his daddy, you know. And then, like you say, he went through a lot, and then he got to the palace. And then that's my palace part of my experience that I talk about, is that, you know, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself with what I wanted, how I wanted to bring it to you. But yeah, how Joseph, the palace, part of that palace experience is that now we're in the kingdom, and God, we can love those that hate us. We can pray for those who despitefully misuse us. We bless those who curse us. And we have a heart that we are not only, God has taken our pain and made it our passion. You know what I'm saying? We're passionate about it. You know, that's irrelevant what was done to me in the past. It's irrelevant how you feel about, oh, glory, don't get me happy too quick. You know, it's irrelevant how you feel about me, because I'm about the Father's business. I took this journey for a reason, and it's for a season, and now it's the appointed time.
Awesome, man. That's a blessing. Before going no further, I want to say big shout out to Miss Raven in the comment section. She said, "Good morning." I
Good
do not
morning.
want to forget about the people that's watching us this morning.
Good
So
morning.
thank y'all as well. Also, big shout out to Miss A in the building herself. She said, "Good morning" as well. Like I say I do not want to forget about the ones who do support the platform. I also give big shout out to Crystal Smallwood. She said, "Have a good show. I'm heading to a meeting. I'll pop back in if I can." Big shout out to Trista as well. Also, like I said, here on the show, man, we want to make sure we bring in great information. We want to make sure that we want to see lives change. That's the purpose of doing podcasts and
Yes.
lives is
Yes.
to empower the people, the listeners. Like the Bible tells us, and let's just be real. Everybody won't be saved. Let's just be honest. Let's just keep it a
Yeah.
buck here. That's why the Bible
The
says, I wish
word
that all
said.
men. That's why the Bible says, I wish that all men might be saved. It's,
Uh-huh.
it's not for everybody. You
Right.
know, when Paul, no, Apostle Paul was a single man. He said himself, I wish every man be as I am, but I understand every man has his own purpose because some men want to be married, some women want to be married. You know, Paul wasn't married, but he said, I wish all men can, but I understand
Yes.
everybody has. I just want to throw that nugget out there, of course, but get back
That's
into
true. And,
it.
and I tell people my platform is not, it is for everybody, but everybody's not going to receive it because it's for kingdom people, kingdom minded people, kingdom people that are about the Father's business. And a carnal minded man does not understand the things of the Spirit. So they don't even understand. They think it's foolishness. The things that us as kingdom builders do and say, like loving those who hate you. I mean, it's foolish, man. You know, that's whack. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's not. It is for everybody, but everybody's not gonna receive it for sure.
That's true. And yeah, thinking about, I'm glad you brought that up too. They don't realize when you have all this hatred and everything in your heart, do you know it? Don't they realize that brings on sickness?
Right, right. Not just spiritually, but naturally, it
Yeah.
really physically makes you ill. Yeah, and it cultivates all kinds of diseases. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to be there, but we all are working to making. That's what I love about what they say about the kingdom. We all are working to making. That's
Mm-hmm.
why he said, "Whom the Son free, the truth shall make you free." Let's go back again. Woo,
Mm-hmm.
wind it back. It says,
Mm-hmm.
"Shall make you free."
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So we are being made over and
We
over. We're
are.
going from what glory to glory to glory. We're increasing, we're not decreasing. And that's what I
Yes.
love about the Most High because He allows us to see this day. He's still speaking to us. He
Yes.
still chastised us. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
blessing to be chastised
Okay. Yeah.
by Heavenly Father. If you're
Yeah.
not being chastised, you consider a bastard, but He chastised those whom He loved. So,
Yeah.
Miss A, let's talk
Yeah.
about that, the
So yeah.
chastisement.
So when I do something and I know I'm wrong and I don't feel no consciousness about it, I'll be like, okay, I need to check my relationship. Somewhere I done got disconnected because I know he should have been checking me about this. He should have been pulling my coat about this. That was early on in my Christian walk. You know what I'm saying? And when I was, so he'll just turn us over to ourselves. He said, okay, you know what? I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to get your attention. But you know what? I'm gonna let you have at it. I'm gonna let you have yourself. Let me see how that work out for you. And there's certain times, sometimes in my life, I don't go too far. But there's certain, hey, Sandra, but there's certain times in my life, God said, okay, let me see how that work out for you, Adam. Then go ahead and do your own thing. Do it your way. Let me see how that work out for you.
But you know, but that's what it's all about. As well, also big shout out to Miss Green in the comment section. Also, want to give a big shout out to a celebrity. We got natural recording artist China White in the building. She said yes. I had China White on the show. She done music back in the day with Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. She's well
Ooh.
known in the music industry, so big shout out to her for watching this morning as well.
Ooh.
Also, so that's what it's all about. We're having a good time here this morning. It's a beautiful moment. And you know what I want to say, Miss A, also, God has really taught me about patience. When I
Yeah.
say about this, and I'm saying
Absolutely.
I'm talking about recently. I'm talking about recently right now.
Uh-huh.
Because last week, when I was on my way to work, my vehicle broke down on me. But you know, I thank
Mm.
God. You know, I say I thank God for Miss A
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I wasn't straight in the middle of nowhere.
All right.
And I didn't get hit. 'Cause you know how it is in Texas, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But glory to God, I'm still here. But nothing
Yeah.
that happened. But it taught me patience because God will send people your way.
Yeah,
because
yeah, you will.
I was looking at getting Uber until my vehicle got ready, but my help, God sent help to me, say, "Why you do all that when I could just let you use my vehicle, to get you
Oh,
back and forth to work?" But then I thought about that this morning, Miss. I thought about that this morning, and
what?
I tell people that when you sow into other people's lives,
Yes. Yeah,
and I'm telling you, doing it with a pure heart.
yeah.
When you go out your way to open your
Mm-hmm.
doors for people, to
That's
give them a
right.
lay their head at night. When
Mm-hmm.
you when you're treating everybody and they ask
Come
you
on.
how much I owe you, don't
Come
worry
on.
about it.
Yeah,
So when I went to that, God sold back into me a
that's right.
hundredfold. See,
That's
that what a
right.
lot of people forget, Miss A. They
Yeah,
forget. This is where we at now. The Bible said it's a blessing to give
come
than
on.
receive. But
That's right.
see, but the carnal minded people,
Want to be the
when they
receiver.
do something, this is what they want to receive. But you know what they say, Miss A?
What?
What's in it for me?
Oh, yeah.
If I'm giving to you, what's in it for me? And I'm gonna use this.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a bill coming up. You say,
Uh-huh.
you know what? I'm having trouble. I need $100. First thing they
Mm-hmm.
would say, when you gonna pay me back? Don't worry
Right.
about when somebody gonna pay you back. Just give the $100. I'm telling you, God will bless you, and He will give you interest on top of that when you
Yes,
do
he
it with a
will.
pure heart.
Yes, he will. The word of God says, give, and it shall be. It shall be, not it might be, but it shall be given back to you in good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and men giving out of their bosoms for you. So giving is definitely a key principle in the kingdom. I teach that in our financial literacy. It's always God first, always God first. And it's
Right.
about what you do first is what God does for you. That,
That's
that, that
true.
that's where the measure comes in. How you giving is how it gets measured back to you. So if you're a stingy giver, you're gonna get stingy back. But if you're a
That's true.
fruitful, abundant giver, a happy giver, God's going to make sure you got more and more and more and more to give.
That's
Uh,
true. And that's true. And that's true. And that's what it's all about. So
yeah.
big shout out to Miss R in the building. Say good morning. China White says, yes, Father. Big shout out to China White again. And what we got in comments, she said, I don't know about that. Not everyone is your assignment, and you give to the wrong person can be punished. I don't. Well, it says I don't know about that. When you say give to the wrong person, what do you mean by that? You give to the wrong person,
Well,
give.
I can let me answer that. So I do talk about that in financial literacy. I do have it on my page where it talks about some financial literacy key points or something. And so we do have to use wisdom. We
Mm-hmm.
do have to seek in everything we do. We need to seek God first. We need to seek God first in our giving because the enemy will use our good for evil. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like kind of like you got to count the cost. You got to be a good steward. That's what I'm trying to find the word. You
Right.
got to be a good steward because you are assigned to certain people. You are.
Mm-hmm.
There was this story, real quick, if I can tell it real quick. I heard it. Have you ever heard about the lighthouse, the oil in the lighthouse? So
Or
each
like,
one of us have an assignment, and each
right,
one
right,
of
right,
us
right.
have an assignment to keep the lighthouse burning, so the ships wouldn't get wrecked in the middle of the night. Well,
Mm-hmm.
somebody came; they needed oil to keep them warm. They were freezing. They needed oil the next night because their children were hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And so the man liberally, out of a giving heart, gave.
Right.
But on the last night, he ran out of oil and the ships crashed and hundreds were destroyed because he didn't fulfill his assignment. God had somebody else for them, but he took it upon himself to be the deliverer. And
Right.
sometimes we're not that person's deliverer. God has another plan for them. But yet we step in because we have such a giving heart.
Right. And that, and then and then that basically you would know. If that's like people criticize Jay-Z for what he said. Jay-Z worth billions of dollars, and he was saying that when his family came asking for money, he wasn't doing it, and people got mad at him for doing that. Like, why you not? That's your family. Yeah, I
Right.
realize people can milk you dry. Cause I think China White said in the comment section there are some music that will milk you dry if they can. That's true because you have people who are users who will make you try if you allow them to. Because if I'm giving you money, okay, now you feel obligated, I'm going to give you money every time, where I could teach you how
That's it.
to build wealth for yourself, how to gain wealth for yourself. What the old
That's it.
saying, teach a man
Without
how to
being
fish.
dependent on somebody else.
And that's,
God be
and
trying to teach us things, you know what I'm saying? And I
right.
remember early on in my journey when before I even was real saved, before I really even knew God, I had gotten a really bad place financially, and I had my two children at that time. And there was an investor that I worked with, and he had a lot of money. He was quite capable of giving me the money to help me in my journey. He said, "But Autumn, that won't help you. Me giving you money, well, a hand is not going to help you. What you need to learn to do is how to make sure that you make money, that this won't happen again." And
That's it. That's it.
and that was the most powerful, impactful time in my journey. You know, that I need to learn how to balance the budget. I don't need to be depending on somebody else to just come in and give me a handout.
Right. And I totally agree with that. I see that all the time with individuals in this generation nowadays. They so quick to depend on other people instead of just taking the initiative to do it for themselves. That's why I work the way I work, because I don't want to depend on nobody. I'm 42 years old. What like a 42-year-old man depend on everybody? You're a grown man. You know
Right.
right from wrong. You're not a baby no more.
Mm-hmm.
But we have people who wants handout all the time. I don't do a handout.
Mm-hmm.
If I see you, if you're physically not able to get work done, then I understand that. But
Right.
if you physically able, let's keep it real, let's keep it above. If you
Right.
physically able to get up and beg and have handout, you
Right.
big enough to go put in some applications, get some stuff going for yourself instead of just having handout. And people get mad when, well, he should never say that. It's his family. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, families be the worst ones. Not knocking
Yeah.
family. We all have families, but half the time they be the worst ones.
Yeah.
Depend on you for everything, but when it comes to you, you need the help. They're nowhere
Mm.
to be found.
And there, I always go back to kingdom. I always go back to kingdom principles and listening to God. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because the bottom line is, I have it, but do I have the right to give it? And if God, because whatever I have belongs to God.
True.
I'm just the, it's coming through me to you.
Right.
So I have to get permission from him. And if he says no, it's no. You know,
But why
some
do
people should say, you think you should say no, but God says yes. I
but I'm
need you,
glad you said
I
that.
need to help them.
I'm glad you brought that up. Why do people get offended when you tell them no?
It hurts. No hurts. No, nobody like no. You know how little kids, nobody likes no. I mean, I don't care. Nobody likes no. And I just said this in a live yesterday. God had me say this on, it dropped in my spirit. We be praying and believing God for things, but sometimes it's just no. It might be yes, you might have to wait, but sometimes God says no. N-O means no. And as we mature and as we grow up, we can appreciate no. Because I'm sure you can testify to some situations that you are glad God said no.
Right.
Right? And so it's just offensive. No is just an offensive word. Like shut up is an offensive word. I used to always teach my kids that's a cuss word. So no is almost like you cussing somebody out. And they're desperate. They feel they're in need. They feel like I mean, there's nothing wrong if a person's in need and they're looking for you for help. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you have to be mature and kingdom minded to say, God, what do you want me to do? It's not about, I don't get in my emotions about how I feel about this or what I feel I should do about this. God, what do you want me to do?
Right.
And once that's settled in my spirit, regardless of how you take it, it's just like when you prophesy to somebody, you tell somebody about whatever God is telling you in the spirit. You can like it or not like it. I'm just dishing it, baby. You can eat it or not eat it. It's up to you. I'm just telling you what the king said. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah.
And that's what and it's all about. What we got in the comments said we're going any further. It says, I know I don't like to hear it, but these someone who tell you no when they are in need. I'm so glad God told me no when he did. That's true. I heard a old saying, I'm not an old saying, but I heard this saying the other day. Um, God's rejection, rejection is God's protection.
Okay.
So if that don't happen, he protect you for a reason. I heard big shout out for Miles Cunningham. He said that on the podcast, and he says rejection is God's protection.
Yeah.
So so that's what it's all about. So we thank everybody for tuning in this morning, really joining the show this morning. Miss Geller in the comment section, that's good stuff. You better preach. So that's what it's all about. Everybody having a good time. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break. And after this commercial break, it's gonna be some testimony time. So man, y'all tune in right after this commercial break.
Okay.
Johnny Domino, set that up. You know, every time I do something, I got to keep it real with myself. I got to put everything in a man up above. And one day, God told me, you got to stay prayed up, man. You got to stay prayed up.
I know life gets heavy sometimes, make it hard to breathe.
Talk to him, Adrian.
The trouble don't last always.
You know,
death ain't easy to accept, but do this for me.
What you always tell them?
And I see you on the other side.
I see you on the other side.
We all got a place and a time.
We got that time
and that's
coming.
the bottom line.
You got to stay prayed up, though.
Sure as we live, we must die. When it's my time to go, I want you to know.
Hey, China, let them know how you rejoice on this verse.
They say rejoice when they die and cry when they going through the rain and the storms. You gotta keep pressing on, cause you never know when your season gon' change. But you better know that your season gon' change and your time gon' come. And life could be a beer, and every single day that beat get realer. Yo, but life is for the living, yeah. So live while you living. And what is prayer? You telling God what you feeling, or you sitting quiet meditating so you can hear Him. And He'll tell you how to make it and show you how to battle, cause it's a war in the matrix. And you might get some scars and some failures, but the race ain't given to the swift, you gotta pace it. Cause life is a journey, and I'ma keep praying till they put me on a gurney.
I know life gets heavy sometimes, make it hard to breathe.
You gotta stay prayed up.
The trouble don't last always. Death ain't easy to accept, but do this for me.
You know I'ma see you on that other side,
and I see you on the other side. We all got a place and a time, and that's the bottom line.
Our time coming.
Sure as we live, we must die.
I want you to know.
When it's my time to go, I want you to know.
Hey, D1, give me that real life experience.
D1, it feel like I'm cursed, but I know that I'm blessed. I smile on the ground, but I know that I'm stressed. My partner got murked, we just laid him to rest. Now I'm at the gun store buying bulletproof vests. I just left out of church, paranoid in the service. I'm looking at me mugged up, got me nervous. Saw him stand up, thought that he was finna blast me. Ran, gave his life to the Lord, walked right past me. Hold up, ain't prayed in a while. Hold up, remember back as a child, wanted to be like Mike. My grandma bought me Wheaties. Couldn't add sugar cause she had diabetes. But those was the days when it all felt easy. Now I get depressed when I turn on the TV. I need me a blessing, so pray for me. Trying to get my soul right cause judgment day coming.
I know life gets heavy sometimes, make it hard to breathe. But stay prayed up, yeah. The trouble don't last always. Death ain't easy to accept, but do this for me. Stay prayed up, yeah. And I see you on the other side. We all got a place and a time, and that's the bottom line. Stay prayed up. Sure as we live, we must die.
You know, I gotta send this dedication out to my dog,
time to go,
my brother, Mr. Magic, and my sis, Chastity. You know I stay prayed up. And to everybody that's not here no more, one love. Shout out to my dog, here's Willie Key, Mr. Rolling on the guitar.
Oh wow, I love it. That's a jam right there. I gotta get that for you.
Big shout to China White.
I ain't never heard that before.
Hey, that's what it's all about. But you know what time it is, Ms. A? It's
What
testimony time.
All
So
right.
we're ready for you to tell your testimony. So
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. So my pit to the palace experience. So it is definitely, the purpose is to inspire and encourage others that no matter where you been, no matter maybe where you're at in your trials or tribulations or whatever, God has a plan. You know, and Jeremiah announces it in Jeremiah 29:11. He says that I know the plans that I have for you, and they're to prosper you and not harm you, to bring you hope and a future. So my testimony is, I'm gonna get my glasses on so I make sure I see. I didn't want to leave nothing out.
Oh, go ahead.
So the pit is a metaphor of my life's journey. And so my pit represents, let me tell you, I'm just going to give you a ditto of it. It's, I was exposed to domestic violence at a very young age, probably before the age of 6. I witnessed, domestic violence in my home. And then I was abandoned by my mother, and I was adopted by my grandparents. I was molested by my step grandfather, and I was a preteen runaway. I ran away. I was rejected and not accepted by my peers because my mother was white, my father was black, my grandmother I was staying with was white. So I was too white to be black, and I was too black to be white. So I wasn't accepted in society. And so there are people that maybe you feel like for whatever reason you haven't been accepted into society. And I went, after my grandmother passed at 13, I went from foster home to foster home. I was bad. I was rebellious by this time. So they kicked me out from foster home to foster home. And most people just about the money. In foster homes, they just about the money. They really not concerned about engaging you in their family. And I got emancipated when I was 16. So my grandmother died when I was 13. I went to foster homes, and then the last foster home I wound up in, it was a drug house by day and a gambling house by night. And I had gotten pregnant. And so I told I think the state got scared because I told them, look, I'm able to do whatever I want to do anyway. I was in the clubs. I was doing whatever I wanted to do. And so they emancipated me at 16 years old. I dropped out of high school. I'm a high school dropout. I was teenage pregnancy. I've been raped. My life been threatened 4 times. I've been held at gunpoint twice. Once by a rape. I was raped at gunpoint. I've experienced death. Not only my mother, my grandmother, my firstborn child at 3 months died crib death. And both of them my mother and my grandmother were fairly well-to-do. And I was cheated out of all my birthrights because when my grandmother passed, my step-grandfather came, and that's the one who threatened my life and told me to give him all the documents to the deeds and land and all that. And then when my mother died, they were very well-to-do. My stepfather, they said he was the last known survivor in the wreck. And so everything went to his people because they didn't have their business fixed. And so when I say ground zero, I came from ground zero. I mean ground zero. Okay. I was an only child. My mother was an only child. So my 2 experience, the pit 2, was my journey of not having no support system. And, we was talking earlier about how people make excuses
right
about this and that and everything. Well, here I was, an only child out here with no support system, with a teenager with a baby, and I had to survive. I had to learn how to survive. And so I survived it all. And so through a chain of events, I love how God orchestrates things and moves things and lines things up like only he can do, I don't want to start crying.
That's right.
I'm get this testimony out. But that's why I let people, I inspire and encourage, especially young women or women, that you can do this. Don't let all these things, my mama did this, my daddy did this, my daddy wasn't there, my mama was, I didn't have no support. I didn't have no help. I'm not the one you can tell that story to, baby. I'm not the one because I made it. And so it was a journey, but I made it. And like you said, Freeman, by the help of others. So don't ever discredit, don't ever discount people along your way, because somebody had to continue to get you to the next
That's
phase.
That's it. That's true.
Somebody, you didn't do it by yourself. You ain't done nothing by yourself.
You got to think about it. David had Jonathan. David had Jonathan.
Yeah. You had somebody that got you to that next next phase.
Moses, Aaron,
Yeah. And so, but and then when I arrived at the palace, and now some people think that probably, I don't know what they think that is, but my rendition of the palace, is I got adopted again. But you know what? This time I got adopted into the royal priesthood family. And my daddy is king of the kings. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And I have all my needs are met. All my needs are met. I'm like David in Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, and I don't want for nothing. I can say honestly and truly, if God doesn't do another thing for me, he's done enough. He's done enough. And not only am I in the palace, I have full access to the kingdom. I got full access. Not only do I have full access and all my needs are met, I've got dominion and authority. He's giving me dominion. He's giving me authority. So what I say goes. You know what I'm saying? And he said that he also, not only does he meet all my needs, he gives me the desires of my heart. Why? Because I delight myself in him.
That's right.
Lord. I wouldn't take nothing for my journey. I wouldn't take nothing for my journey. I wouldn't take nothing for what I've been through. I don't have no scars. I'm like the 3 Hebrew boys that came out the fire. There's no singe on me. There's no scars on me. There's nothing that shows you that I've been where I just told you. There's nothing in my life. There's no residue on my life that shows you what I just told you. If I wouldn't have told you, you would have never known the journey that I've been on. Okay?
That's true.
And so because of where I've been has made me who I am. And I am so gracious and honored and thankful to who I am. And now, just like Joseph, and God told me this when I was a new convert. He told me, and I told my friends, and they acted just like Joseph's brothers and brothers did. He told me, and I have a friend to this day, Sheila, that can be a witness. God always leaves a witness, they say. As a new convert, when I was broke, busted, and disgusted, he told me, Autumn, I'm going to raise you up to be a modern day Joseph. And I told my friends, and they acted just like the brothers. They, who is you? Who do you think you is? And let me tell you something. To the day, God has allowed me to use his resources and distribute his resources to those that are in need. Even the ones that don't like me, even the ones who have betrayed me, even the ones who despitefully misuse me, even the ones who curse me or try to curse me, God uses me. And that's my palace. That's my fit to the palace experience. Yes.
Man, I was thinking that about Miss A, what you were saying. When God bestowed upon Abraham, he said, I bless those who bless you, and I curse those who curse you.
All right now.
That's part of the benefits of being in the kingdom as well. He blessed those who bless you, curse those who curse you. So we know that he fights our battles for us.
Yes.
He fights our battles for us. And it's just an awesome thing because I never know you went through all those things, of course, until you said something about it. But you're still standing. Where in certain individuals will just go ahead and give on up and just go on further and further away into the wilderness and don't return. But the whole time he had his hands on you the whole entire time. When I know you probably had a moment, why did I have forsaken me? But we know what Jesus said, thy will be done. What I'm saying?
That's right. I didn't know him at an early age, so I didn't know how to talk to him like that.
Right.
I just was in survival mode. But when I got to know him, I really forgot about all of that. You know what I'm saying? I really forgot about all that because the trade-off was so good. It didn't matter. If this is what brought me to you, if this is what brought me here to you, it's okay. It's okay.
And then Seth, you were open on like a number 1 draft pick, in the draft. And that's what it's all about. Building his number one draft pick,
Yeah.
and he said this is number one, and that's an
Yeah.
awesome thing. But I also
Yeah.
like to say you do a lot of great work in the community. You do a lot of great work as well. Let's talk more about the work that you're doing. You talk about the financial literacy. We know that's very big in our community, more than ever. Learning how money works. We know when it came to money, of course, was kind of didn't knowing it better. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll get money. We'll allow it to go through our hands and going from paycheck to paycheck and going to the cash loan places and asking everybody for money. And but now I thank God that He's catching us up with the time when it comes to finances now. So talk more about the financial literacy, because we know that's very, very important when it comes to our community, not just for our community, for our families. Not only that, if you're a parent, you have to pass this information on to your children. So go ahead and enlighten us on that.
So that's a new assignment that the Lord has given me is spiritual growth and financial literacy. And so the name He gave me was Money Matters. And money matters does to the kingdom. Money does matter to the kingdom. And people kind of use that money as a kind of curse word, just like they do no sometimes.
Right.
They like to hear money when it's, when it's coming to them. They don't like to hear money when, you're taking. But anyway, money does matter to the kingdom. And I just see so many people now. It's the Spirit of the Lord moving through the kingdom is equipping us with information about financial literacy, because God knows that the kingdom needs it. How can we be a blessing to somebody if we don't have anything? God wants us to be resourceful. I never really quoted much like what you said about I'll bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. But I always think about the one where He told Abraham, I'm going to bless you to be a blessing. And so that's the purpose of us being blessed. It's not to be in bigger houses or drive finer cars. Although, like I said, God in that, if we delight ourselves in Him, He does let us relinquish some of the glean from some of the benefits. You know what I'm saying?
Right, most definitely.
But the main priority is that you have the resources that I can transfer to you, to others. People need jobs. People are hungry. And people go through different things at different times. I may be down and you may be up. You may be up and, vice versa. So we're all at different places at different times in our journey. And we got to be helpers one to another. Some of us lose our jobs. Some of us get sick. Some of us, have a spouse that's left us, and there's times when we got to undergird each other. And so we got to be smart about our money. It's been a time when I didn't have no sense for my sins, but now I got some sense for my sins. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, man. And I agree 1,000% on what you're saying. And that will always resonate in my spirit. It's the word prepared. We have to be prepared.
Yes.
And as kingdom citizens, all about being prepared. You remember the proverb Solomon was compared man to the ant. He used the ant when he says, consider the ant, you slugger.
Right.
And look at the ants and learn the ant's way. What an ant does. An ant works, but it stores up for when things need it.
Yeah. And even the Joseph story. That was the whole story about Joseph. He took the dream was that there was going to be 7 years of famine. 7 years of plenty.
Right.
And see, when I was stupid about money, I thought money was always going to be there. It's going to keep coming, keep coming. But God, we have to calculate that. And we have to listen to God is that, it's going to be 7 years of plenty. But it's a storm out on the ocean and it's coming this way. And there's going to be 7 years of famine. But God's people are going to be prepared. That's why there's this money matters and this money literacy is out there, because God say my people are going to be prepared.
Right. And that's where we point to the point we have to have our money work for us. Yeah. It's something that was never talked about years ago, but now it's being talked about now. We had to get to the point now. And I had a conversation with somebody on my way to work when I was Ubering one day. And me and the lady was talking in the car. And she said, and I said this too, I said, we come to the point now. You have to have multiple streams of income now. One income now is not going to cut it. You have to have multiple streams of income now. Because the way things are going. And now that is for our safety. Well, I won't say protection. I won't say safety, but our protection.
Security.
Yeah, because anything can happen where your car may break down. You may need something, you know, for any little thing. I'm just throwing stuff out there, but it's all about being prepared, being ahead. And we know that God give us the wisdom. I love what Solomon asked God. He asked for wisdom. He asked him to discern between what was good and evil. God granted him what he needed, and God honored his prayer. I'm gonna ask about that, Miss A. How God can honor our prayer when we say the right prayer, like Solomon did.
If we pray according to God's will, his plan, and his purpose, that's what I always tell people. You know, at the end of my prayer, when I pray, let your will be done, God. This is what I think. This is how I'm feeling right now. I want to believe that everything I think in my mind, I have the mind of Christ. But sometimes I'm sure I know I don't, you know, and it's just what I will and what I want.
Right.
Okay. So at the end of it, I say, God, if it's according to your will, your plan, and your purpose, then I believe that it's going to happen.
Right.
You know, that's how we have to pray, you know.
Most definitely. That made me think when you was talking, Miss A. I think how Solomon asked that prayer and God honored that. Now that God gave him other things he didn't even ask for.
Yeah, because he asked for wisdom. And if we have wisdom, then we have the principal thing. Because God says he gives us power to create wealth. Well, that power is here. That power is in our mind. He gives us creative ideas. He gives us inventions. He gives us systems. He tells us what to invest in, what not to invest in, when to give, when not to give. He gives us power to create wisdom. And I want to go back to what you were saying about investing. There are so many scriptures in the Bible that talk about money. And I said that's when God really acted like a brother, when he came in and turned over the tables in the house of God, like, Aaron, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, right, yeah.
But also he talks about the talents. He said, I gave one, I gave 1 5, I gave 1 10. He expects us to multiply. You know, take what I've given you, use what I've given you, and make it multiply.
That's it. That's it. Oh, I love investing. That's something I really got into. Buying stock, you know what I'm saying? Having our money work for us.
Make your money work for you. Yeah. Let me tell you something before. I think my battery might go dead on you, Freeman, but I'll go charge it real quick if you can still.
Okay.
But I talk about in business, helping business owners. You know, everybody want to boss up. Man, if you're still working that business, you're just an employee to the business. When
say that one more
business owner is when your business is making money and you ain't there. You sleep and your business is making money. Same way with us. We've got to a plateau when our money is making money. As long as we're out here making money and hustling for the money, we chasing that dollar. But when that dollar chasing us, then we arrive.
But
that's what we want to teach our people to get to.
You know, you said something. You just stepped on some people's toes when you just said that you just an employee.
What I do.
No, because you got people want to be business owners and call themselves this and that, but they're not in the arena yet. Well, okay, when your business taking care of you, when you're not in all what they say, make money while you sleep. It's a journey. It's a journey, but it don't stop at that point where you say, okay, I'm a boss, but when you get to that point where even 50 Cent said that you didn't make it until you making money in your sleep. When you wake up, you got some money. You got the money, direct deposit, that notification go off. That's when you know you made it.
You watching a movie, ching ching.
That's it.
The boss. Look, I have to remind my husband sometimes. He say, "Don't you need to be at work? Don't you need to be?" We the boss. We the boss. We don't have to be there. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We arrived at that point, but sometimes it takes a while to get out of that.
It does.
You know, because we're always thinking that we're supposed to be working. We're supposed to be there. We're supposed to put in 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours. No, it's when we chilling at the beach and our money's still making money.
That's it. Ain't nothing lacking.
Now we're gonna boss up.
That's it. Ain't nothing lacking. You paying your bills on time. You ain't worried about when robbing Peter to pay Paul. We ain't them days no more.
But it's a journey, and that's
a journey.
That's what my testimony is about. It's a journey. So no matter where you're at, that's not your final destination.
And that's it. So Miss Raven said, yes, look, my money chases me. That's what she said. A big shout out to her. Miss R said, you teaching. I'm always praying for wisdom, divine guidance, and divine connection. That's what it's all about. Because the Bible says, if any man lack of wisdom, we need acts.
Yes.
Wow. You know what? People, God is so awesome.
He is. He is. He
People need to
is.
stop making God what they want God to be. God said little simple things that we gotta understand. He ain't said when he said if any man lack of wisdom, let him
Excellent.
ask. He didn't say about no job. He didn't say about no house. He didn't say about no car. If any man lack of wisdom, let him ask. Wisdom is way anyway, that's another broadcast. We got to talk about that another broadcast. But just how awesome it is. But I know, Miss, I'm not for hold you up. I know you got some things going on. So go ahead. How can people catch? I know you go live every week, and I know you have your classes going on. So how can the audience keep up with all the great things you got going on?
So we have a Facebook page called Living Life with Autumn. We come on Mondays and Tuesdays. They're trying to get me bound into a time at 7 o'clock. We do Money Matters. We do Testimony Tuesday. And then the other days, I'm spontaneous. And then we also have a website called livinglife.biz where you can go to and we talk about your financial journey. We can help you with the credit. We can help you with life insurance. We can help you with home buying, businesses, creating a business, sustaining a business, lots of good stuff on there. So livinglife.biz and then Living Life with Autumn on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
Man, awesome stuff, Miss A. I thank you for taking time of your death to schedule. I don't want to hold you up. I appreciate you again. We're about to get lead this thing, man. Y'all have a great Saturday. But before I go, any words of advice, any signs of wisdom you will leave here with the audience that's watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube?
I just want to say, hey, like I said, wherever you are in your journey, don't be discouraged. You know, trouble don't last always. And life is a journey. Embrace it. Enjoy the journey. Embrace it. Because you got higher heights. You got greater things to achieve. God said, these things I've done, but greater things you'll do.
Hey, that sums it up right there. So we appreciate everybody in the comment section. Have a great Saturday. I will be back at me and Phoenix. My co-host will be back with me. She will be with me Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We're gonna be talking about, I think we're talking about life Tuesday, but I will keep y'all posted on that. Well, one of the girls I grew up with in my hometown, Mobile, Alabama, reached out to her. We're just gonna be talking about life and all other great stuff.
Wow.
So
yeah, you have some good stuff going on.
I appreciate it, Miss A. I really do. So Miss R says, thank you for sharing. That's what it's all about, man. We thank y'all for all those y'all on the YouTube side. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, comment, and share, subscribe, hit the notification button. We go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Just want to do that quick plug in, of course.
That's
but
right.
we're not finna hold y'all up. Miss, I'm not finna hold you up. Have a great Saturday. We out this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe. Ask God for wisdom. Yeah. And watch his wisdom change your life. Peace, everybody.
Amen.